The Draftmas season is upon us once again, and it's almost Draftmas Day. We're just a few days away from the 2024 NFL Draft, and we're bringing it to you live. We'll be in Detroit on Radio Row, and you can watch day 1 and 2 of the draft with us live from there. I'm Jeremy Greene of ESPN Radio Asheville and the Sportsocracy, and we're doing 7-round A-plus mock drafts. This is something I've done every single year. It is shocking how many people go back and listen to these and say, man, I wish my team had done what you said, or damn, I'm glad you're not the GM of my team. It's mock drafts. We're all just having a little fun trying to kill time till Thursday. But I have taken the players that every team has met with. And I'm not telling you every player that I draft in these will be a guy that they have talked to, but these will be guys that they have shown obvious interest in. We start at number 1, Chicago Bears. First pick, very easy. It's Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC. Look, I'm not as in love with the kid as a lot of other people are. I think he's really good. I don't know if he will ever be great. He has all of the tools to be great. It's all about the mental makeup, which I don't love. But I also don't love the fact that he's being compared to Patrick Mahomes right off the jump. But he does do incredible things with his legs, with the arm angles, all the other things that you could ever want from a quarterback. Caleb Williams has all the tools. The question is if he'll ever put them all together. And I think the best chance for him to do that is with the Chicago Bears. Get here to number 9, and it didn't obviously go the way it's going to, but I do think it's the right 8 players. So we get here, well, minus Brock Bowers, who I don't think they're taking, but in this situation, there is no Rome Odunze. That is more of a possibility than people think because the Jets have been sniffing around 8 with the Falcons. If that were to happen, I look to who Chicago has met with because I know they have talked. They've had meetings and sessions and all kinds of things about where they get the most value at number 9. I believe that would be at receiver if one is there. If one's not there, you could easily go offensive tackle, or you could go pass rusher to pair with Montez Sweat, who they got last year. That's the way I would go. Now the question is, which one would you want? Is it Dallas Turner, who they brought in for a top 30 visit? That's going to be the path I think they would go, and that's going to be the path that I go. Here's why. I don't like Dallas Turner as much as I like Jared Verse out of Florida State, but you put him in a situation here with Montez Sweat where he can just be a dedicated pass rusher, and now I have 2 evil hellhounds on each side, and you can't get away from either one of them. I think this would be an ideal scenario, and if Atlanta doesn't take him at 8, he would be a perfect fit for the Chicago Bears at number 9. So right here at 9, I'm taking Dallas Turner. Chicago doesn't have another pick until 75, and they only have 75 and 122 in the entire draft. So this is going to be a really short video with Chicago. I do look to what they've done here. I wanted to get a receiver, but there wasn't one there. So I've got Caleb Williams. I got Dallas Turner. So I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. Now I'm going to look to the other guys that they have brought in and figure out exactly what it is they'll want to do. They've brought in a lot of wide receivers. Obviously, because they thought that they might have one, a shot at one right there at 9. Didn't work out that way. So now I'm looking down the list. I'm looking at the guys that are still on the board. I would consider Marshawn Nealon. In the effort of realism, I'm not going to take him because I don't think he will be there. They brought in Austin Booker on a visit. They already, obviously, you already got an in, so I don't think you would do that. I'm looking to wide receiver, so let's look and see who is still on the board here. You would have JALEN McMillan. He's the best one of the bunch. It's either him or Javon Baker. I think McMillan would be a really good fit here. I think I'm going to go with JALEN McMillan, wide receiver out of Washington. Look, the kid was hurt. If you go back to 2 years ago, he was better than Rome Odunze. I think this is a buy low scenario for Chicago where they're getting a player here that's more valuable than the pick. That now gives them DJ Moore, JALEN McMillan, and Keenan Allen for Caleb Williams. You pair that with what they have in the rushing game with DeAndre Swift and Khalil Herbert, and you add that to Cole Kmet. I think this is a phenomenal start for the Bears. We have 1 pick left, so we'll hit draft on JALEN McMillan there. Roll through to 122. And I have an idea of who I want to take here. I'm just not positive. I'm looking for one of these flyer guys that they've taken a top 30 visit on. Right now I'm looking at, they had Ryan Flournoy, the wide receiver from Southeast Missouri State, who I really like. He was in. Trevor Keegan, the guard from Michigan. There's a player that I am curious. If he's still on the board, he's where I'm going. Let's see. There are a lot of corners, which I'm a big fan of, and I think that's probably the position I go. Elijah Jones, PFF is not as wild about him. The Bears brought him in for a top 30 visit. He was phenomenal last year, and I think he would be a perfect fit in this defense. The defense is going to be really good. The big thing is, do I have guys that can get up in your face and preclude you? This is one of the best man cover corners in this class. The problem is that he is not as great in zone. He's not as great against the run. I don't necessarily need him to be. I need this to be a guy that I can bring in on third down, and he's an absolute bulldog that I can develop into the 2 on the opposite side of Jalen Johnson as time passes. They brought him in for a top 30 visit. I'm taking him here. Elijah Jones, cornerback out of Boston College. All right, that's my 4 picks. Chicago doesn't have any more. We'll let it run through. We'll see what PFF gives me as a grade. I guarantee you they're going to hammer me for Elijah Jones. Damn, you have to wait a long time when your last pick is 140 picks before the draft actually ends. All right, we'll see what they give me for a grade here. Any day, PFF. Okay. Let me scroll down here, get that up on the screen. Move the browser over there. Boop. All right, A+ for Caleb Williams. I must say that I would agree. He's not my number 1 quarterback in this class, but I understand why he would be. He has the highest ceiling, and it's not even close. Dallas Turner, I get an A. B for Jalen McMillan. They gave me an F on Elijah Jones, which is absolutely stupid because he is a top 130, 140 player in this class, and I know Chicago likes him. They gave me an A. Even with that F, I feel pretty comfortable calling that an A+. What do you think, Bears fans? Would you be happy with these 4 players coming to Chicago to play in your new stadium a few years from now? I'm Jeremy Greene of ESPN Radio Asheville and the Sportsocracy. Hit that subscribe button, like, all those good things, and join us live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be doing live radio shows at noon Eastern time, and we'll be live for day 1 and 2 of the draft from Radio Row in Marcius Park, Detroit, Michigan.